Hello, hello everybody. Sorry we're a couple minutes late. Not too bad though. Oh my goodness, we got a lot of people in here today. Got to rub my bronzer in better, don't I? All right, who's here? Everybody say hi. Please tell me, can you hear my neighbors washing their car and using their leaf blower all over town? Okay, I might have to shut the door. You can hear something. Okay, let me go shut. I have this big glass door, but it's been so hot. I made sure that I had ready for this coolness because it gets hot talking to you guys. Let me shut this down. Not be on my air conditioning machine. Let me shut this down. Let me shut the big doors and I'll be right back and we'll get started. All right, I think today is eat the frog day. Can you check if screen share works? Let me check. It says I can share, Lisa. All good. All good. Look like my lips are a bit red. Loving the heat. So where is everybody coming in from? Obviously, Australia. I see Carrie, Devin. Sound is muted somewhat. Okay, hold on. That's a good thing. Let me check. Can everyone else hear me okay, or do I sound a bit muted? Let's see where my microphone is. Hello. Oh, it's saying it's the right microphone. Sounds good. Okay. Very clear. Excellent. I'm using my Yeti microphone, so it's a good microphone. All right, let me just pull up my screen and let's share to you all. Hold on. Present to you lovely fine folks. Okay. All right, here we go. Share screen and share. Okay. Do you guys see my audience mode window, right? Okay. I'm just going to bring up my chat again because I'm on my tiny itty bitty computer that I love so much. I'm looking really healthy today. Why, thank you, Sandy. That is such a lovely thing to say. I feel like a human being today because I have not slept in 4 or 5 days. And last night I went to bed before midnight, which I probably haven't done in months. And I slept till 7 and I feel like a human. I worked out this morning. I took a shower this morning. Normally I take a shower at night to cool myself down, when the heat's like this, but I was actually able to work out. Actually, I'm taking several showers a day. Anybody else in this heat? Okay. So can everyone see my screen on how to be tech confident? Okay. Okay, so as always, I would really like you guys to say hi and tell me what you're hoping to learn today. Because we're talking about tech confidence, I'd really like to hear, how tech confident are you? Be honest, be truthful. I'm here for all the wisdoms. I love it. I love it. So tell me, be honest. Are you, let's say you feel pretty tech confident. You are tech averse and nervous, or you think maybe there's more you could be doing. Average, slow to adopt new things, intermediate level, liking this, fairly tech confident. Let's see, definitely more I could be doing. I feel confident, but there's always something new to learn. pretty confident, always good to learn, bit scared of WebEx. That's all right. Intermediate, can always learn more. Here to learn new skills. I was, but since not working for a while due to redundancy, I've been less confident. Okay, so let's talk about that in a minute. So someone's just said, I was tech confident, but since not in work for a while due to redundancy, I've become less confident as things change so fast. Was tech confident, but getting tech nervous. Intermediate, but more to learn. Depends on the technology for sure. Need to learn more. Not very confident, but the work from home lockdown has brought on skills rapidly. Okay, so who feels more tech confident by watching this series? You guys are so active today. I can't even believe it. Just making sure I read these so I cover anything that I see. I'm fairly confident, new to learn, pretty good, more to learn. Yay for stuck in my ways. So yay for Google to figure out when someone asks for something. I'm currently looking for my next role. Would love to know more. Okay, not very techie. Okay, all right. And then when I asked, have you been getting more tech confident from learning this series? Yes, I've learned so much from you, Lauren. I'm so grateful. Feel more supported by all the webinars during lockdown. That's fantastic. Yes, these sessions are helping. Yes, I'm all up in my Google Calendar since last week. I love that we did Google schedule everything session last week. I know a bit, but always looking for new ways. Not confident in video conferencing. Video conferencing, I think, makes everybody nervous. Anyone else here say yes if video conferencing makes you nervous? In just like, who's constantly nervous the internet is going to go? Like, I'm talking to you guys, you might hear a bit of an echo because I'm kind of in my big great room, like with the kitchen, dining room, living room all together, because we're having internet issues lately. And I think the last couple of sessions you guys said I was kind of going in and out. So I'm right next to the Wi-Fi because of this. Okay, these sessions are brilliant. These are great. I wish I'd found them earlier than last week. That's okay. They're all recorded. That's fantastic. Okay. Oh, so many cool things. These webinars keep me motivated as an assistant and love my role. Okay, fantastic. So you guys, you're so sweet. Okay, so let's move on to the next bit. That really helps me kind of get into the mindset of why some people are here. There's actually quite a lot of people that consider themselves tech confident, but I think especially if you've been in this series, somebody's asking where they can find all of these recordings. I think I'm spelling it right. There's an app called Eugenie, and if you are a Miss Jones PA member, you get access to that. And right now they're doing a membership where you get 2 months for the digital membership, which basically gives you access to all of this for 10 pounds. And I did a lot of them. You guys put in here who've watched them before, like what were your favorite ones that you watched? Believe me, it's worth it. Like I literally started doing these almost at the very beginning of lockdown. We've done one almost every single week. Canva, Pinterest, schedule everything. We talked about that, which is good for any calendar. I walk you through the Gmail calendar, but you can definitely do any of those things in Outlook. There's nothing necessarily particular. It's just how I use technology is what you're kind of getting, this over the shoulder view. Okay, fantastic. So who here is new to me? Please put in this channel if you've been here before, if you are new, if you're new to me. Okay, so my name is Lauren Bradley. I'm the founder of The Officials. You can go check us out at, in fact, let me put it in here, jointheofficials.com/MsJonesPA. Now, at the moment, we've just shut our membership. We've closed the doors because it gives us more time to plan and concentrate on our current members. And then we'll reopen in October. So it's still going. It's just that we cannot take any new members right now because we just can't handle you guys. So if you're ever interested, that link I just gave you will get you a 25% off your first month when we do open the doors again. So make sure you hold on to it. Hi, Jenny. Yeah, Jenny's an official. And so, otherwise, you can get on our wait list and just make sure you keep a hold of that link, because when we do open the doors, then you'll still get that 25% off. So you want to get on the wait list. That should direct you to the wait list. Oh my God, Tracy, you guys are so nice. Okay, so I'm the founder of The Officials, and it's an online platform for training and community. So it actually started as a community because I was an assistant. I just wanted to share and learn from other assistants. I was in a new town at the time. I just moved to New York City. I'm actually in London. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I'm a Yank, but now I'm technically British. I've done all the tests and things. And I'm living here. This was where I'll live. This is my forever home. But we lived in New York for a few years and I was totally lost. And so I created a community, and then that grew and grew, and it became mentorship. Then it became coaching and training. And so now we have a training platform, because I'm saying the same things over and over again. So we wanted a place to store it all to help more people. And our community is super supportive, no drama, only love. And I hope you guys check it out. But it was because I couldn't take the extremely expensive training, right? Anyone else here have no training budget or very little or funding training yourself? Right. And so that was me. And I was like, I can't go to an $800 thing for 2 days. I can't go to I got an email this year that said $400 off for this early bird special. I thought, if it's $400 off, what the hell are they charging? Right. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. And I've worked in higher ed for years, and I studied instructional design and graphic design and web design. And I'm just always a teacher. And so that's how it was born. So that's what I do. So this is what I do. Right? This is my bread and butter. This is what I love to do. And I love connecting with you guys. I've been an assistant for over 15 years. I've been a PA to high net worth individuals, an EA to the CEO, office manager, temp. I've run the whole gamut. Company of 6, company of 200, all over the place. So that's kind of my expertise. I've won an award. I'm not going to get into it, but that's me in a nutshell. Okay, so these, if you've been here before, you know I'm not a big fan. I like presentations, but I like them to just be simple and clear of what we're going to cover. And then you get the knowledge and you pay attention to me and not all the words on the screen. I want us to have a conversation. And that's really what I wanted to have today. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to talk about how tech is coming, which is ridiculous to say because tech is here. How old is the first computer? It's like a crazy, ridiculous number, right? How old and how big it was, right? And now I'm working on a 13-inch laptop. This is a computer. This is your best weapon. Tell me if you have an iPhone or an Android phone. Please put that in here, because that's going to help a little bit too. Because I'm going to tell you why this is so important. I would be lost without this. Anyone else feel the same way? Like as an assistant, this is my absolute secret weapon, right? Like, do you know what it's like when you're at the office and you lost your phone? Oh my God. Anybody not utilizing their phone the way they know they could be? Simple things, really simple things, okay? Okay, we're gonna talk about why tech is coming, why you shouldn't be afraid, and how to get familiar with tech. Now, I'm just gonna show you one last slide really quickly, because I want you guys to take this information down in case you ever wanna contact me. And then I'm going to go back to this slide. Actually, I'm just going to close the slides and I'm going to talk to you. We're going to talk about these 3 points. So if you are on Instagram, please follow us. I am the app queen. I love this, Sandy. And you can always check us out at jointheofficials.com. If you ever need to ask a question or about anything that I talked about here, please email me at hello@jointheofficials.com, DM me on Instagram. Part of our biggest core pillars of the officials is that it's affordable and it's accessible and that it's good quality. But that's just, it just has to be, right? But that includes me being accessible. Usually to me, that means that the courses are online, because I had a busy life. I couldn't go to a networking event. I had to go pick up my kid from daycare, right? And so I needed something online, but that felt like I was connected. That's why the community part is so important. So anyway, I just want you guys to know how to get a hold of me, and then let's stop sharing. And let's start talking. I stalk executives on Flight Tracker and know when they're going to land, probably before they do. I love that. I absolutely love that. I think we've all been there, haven't we? Anybody else do that? Because you're just so like, have they made it? Have they made it? Okay. So let's get comfortable, right? Okay. So let me go back up so I could see my slide quickly of just our 3 points. So I stay on track, because sometimes, I like talking to you guys. I just go off on a tangent. Okay. So let's talk about how tech is coming. Okay, so anyone here that has been kind of tech averse, do you feel like you've been skirting around it a bit and being able to get away with it for a while? But if you move to maybe a new job, or if something quickly changes, that you kind of feel like you're at risk, maybe that you might skirting. Okay, yeah. So if you know that tech is happening at your company, you're hearing about other ways people are using it, but you are just not confident, then let's talk about that today, because obviously the tech is here. I'm going to let you in on a secret. And I think the people that are tech confident can kind of tell you this too. And the ones especially that said, I'm confident, intermediate, but I can always learn more. It's because you actually don't need to know that much. Anyone else agree? You just need to go a couple key basics. And if you know those and your executive doesn't, whoo, you are like, I think we all know this. Like if you know how to use Adobe Acrobat and you can change a PDF, oh my goodness, you're a goddess, right? Or a god, or wherever you, whatever, whoever's here, boys, girls, whatever. But it's really simple. It's just the key. It's just those key functions that people use over and over and over again. And if you know if you can master those, and then maybe like one extra step, like one little key, cool Easter egg, oh my goodness, you are like, that's the secret, right? Anybody else agree? Yeah, that is the secret. If you just know how to use these things and then like one extra little thing, you'll blow people away and they think you know it all. And then you do what all good assistants do and you Google it, right? Who is a graduate of the University of Google or constant student of the University of Google, right? Okay, Google is my friend. It's true, it's the simplest things. Okay, tech is here. I think it is, wait, I saved this on my phone. This is the scary statistic, right? And I'm sorry, but it's very likely true. Up to 85% of the jobs that today's college students will have in 11 years' time haven't been invented yet, okay? Our job titles are going to change. We're no longer secretaries. That's already changed. Now there's a negative connotation of secretary, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think that's giving power to something that doesn't need to be. If you're a secretary, prefer that term, that's fine. But I think what it's associated with is kind of typist, right? Is that kind of, that's one of the issues. And there's also like sexy secretary, which we're trying to avoid as well, right? Don't go down a hashtag for secretary on Instagram or anything like that. You'll be lost. Okay. So, but our job title has already changed in a very short amount of time. And now we're in a constant debate about our job titles are now executive assistant, chief of staff, strategic business partner, executive business partner. We're trying to show more and more value of how we sit in that leadership team. And that doesn't matter whether that really doesn't have to do whether you use technology or not, but the people that are going to make it ahead and not be left behind, because I want you to know you can easily be left behind, but you can easily get it back. This is the thing. It is a real fear, and it should be a real fear that you get left behind. But what I want to tell you today is it's super easy to cross that bridge. It feels like if people see you on the one side of the bridge, they're just going to look at another candidate, or they're going to look at your role and if they're looking at who can move forward with the growth of the company, if they see you on the side of the bridge that's not really tech savvy, it puts you at more risk. However, what I want to show you is there's actually a really simple, sturdy, wide, strong bridge to get you across. And it's just a few simple steps. Imagine like on this bridge, there's like 3 big sections. And those sections are what I want to like walk you through. Let me just see what you're saying right now. If your boss uses iPhone, you can use Android. You can't easily help them sort out any issues on iPhone. Your boss uses iPhone and you use Android. Yes. So that's, to be honest, I think it's a good reason to switch to switch to the technology of your executive. I think that's important. I think Mac versus Android comes into this big time, and PC. A little worried the boss might have figured out some tech bit that I know whilst I've been on furlough. He might realize it was easier than he thought. Yes, but the thing is they don't want to do it. And so somebody's saying that about their boss, like figuring out this tech stuff. I'm fully okay with that. Like I am constantly, anyone else here constantly trying to make themselves redundant? But actually, because they always think you're one step ahead. If you're constantly trying to empower others, it gives you more time to do the heavy thinking, to do the problem solving, to do the creative problem solving. When you get all the data from all this technology, it lets you sit and look at it and be the human that you are great at being. That's going to be your superpower is your humanity, but you need to know the tech, and it's not even that much tech. So tech is coming. I think we all know that. We know that in 11 years time, graduates right now are going to have job titles we've never even seen, that our job titles are changing now. And that's just because that is literally linked to the technology changing. Okay. So, and furlough has been interesting. Furlough has been, oh no, what is my boss going to be able to figure out what to do without me? And but also what can I learn while on furlough? So if you guys have not checked out this tech series, please go back and do so. I'm going to list some awesome software here in a minute. There's one called, so some of these are about Canva. You're not going to even know. You're going to be like, why do I need to know about Instagram? Why do I need to know about Pinterest? Because if you know these things and they're like, oh my God, they're so well-rounded, they can give me advice on anything, or we can point people in the right direction, right? I think the big superpower of an assistant, one of the superpowers of an assistant is that we don't always know how to do everything, but we know what can be done. That's like the point of this entire tech series. I want you to know what is possible. And then you can get an expert. You don't have to solve all the problems, okay? You just need to know that they can be solved, right? And tech can do a lot of this. What else did we do, guys? Canva, Instagram, Slack, G Suite. I can't spell G Suite. So that's what a lot of these sessions have been. I think what people have come away with, I hear a lot, is I'm buzzing, I'm inspired, because their minds opened up. And I think, like last week I talked about scheduling everything, and I literally just talked about make sure you schedule all the regular stuff that you do, including lunch, including all of that stuff. And then I always put in a follow-up Friday. That's not crazy using tech, but that's using tech to your advantage, not just having this calendar you have to fill out for your executive. Use it for you too. PicMonkey's great. Exactly. PicMonkey's good. There's a couple of different ones. There's one called Easel, Canva, and PicMonkey. PicMonkey allows you to do curved text. Easel, I think, allows you to have a shadow. Like each one does something different, but Canva, you can get a free version of. Teams is fabulous. I'm really glad that everyone's moving forward with Teams, and that this virus has shoved everyone into the present, to be honest. Like companies and startups are working now in Silicon Valley where we're trying to get to right now, or we're being forced into. And they're already actually changing based on what's happening. They're already going further into the future. So we're just catching up, right? So that's why I want you to know that tech is coming. Okay, so don't be afraid. This is why I want to tell you to not be afraid. Okay, so who's a little bit nervous about artificial intelligence? Who's a little bit nervous about, I have not heard of Mentimeter. Where's my pen, guys? I always take notes when you guys are talking to me. What is Mentimeter? Tell me what it is. Tell me more. Tell me more. Oh, I'm loving Reels right now. I just got told that one of my Reels have gone over 1,000 views, and sadly excited about it. It's great for both. Slido is a good, okay, so Mentimeter. All right, I'm going to look that up. Okay, so let's talk about AI. This is why you shouldn't be afraid of AI. I'm going to tell you a few things. If you want to watch what is coming for AI, you want to watch a company called DeepMind. DeepMind is owned by Google and is making all the decisions for us. They're constantly looking for executive assistants, by the way, so get on their radar, but it's hard to work for them. Their job descriptions are insanity. They're beautifully written. There was a job description for the head of their entire executive assistant team, or all of their assistants, and it said, we want to create the best admin team in the world, and they meant it, and it was 4 pages long, and it was a masterpiece, okay? I've saved it because I'm going to use it for I'm going to use it for inspiration for things, because it was just so beautifully written, like how they really centered into what kind of person you should be. It was great. But I would watch them. There's a great movie called AlphaGo. I don't know if anyone has seen it. It was on Netflix for a while. I don't know if it's still there, but if you can find it, I would watch it. And does anyone know about the game Go? The name of the company is DeepMind. There you go. And AlphaGo is this documentary. So Go is a game that you play with black and white. They almost look like the pebbles that... Guys, I'm so sorry. There's construction going on across the road. I hope that you guys can hear me okay. I think that's going to end. I think they're just changing the portaloo, and that will be done in about a couple minutes time. Okay. So, the little clear pebbles that kind of look like smushed marbles at the bottom of a fish tank, white and black ones of it's a gameplay with white and black ones of those, and you want to surround your enemy. It's kind of played like checkers or chess, but it has many more possibilities than chess. So we know that we've heard about IBM's computer breaking or beating chess masters, right? That was a really big deal when that first came out. The new way forward is AlphaGo. Go itself as a game. This is how they test AI, is they test it with games of logic and see how it goes. It is one of the most tense documentaries I've ever seen. They play against a tournament against a Go champion who's been trained since he was like 7. And it is, I'm sweating just thinking about it. Go find this, okay? But the reason why I don't want you to be afraid is in that documentary, they said right now, the AI that we're creating is about as intelligent as a smart washing machine. They're going to get to someplace higher. It's amazing, but it's, for one, it's not going to, we're okay for a good long time with AI, right? But what we're trying to achieve with AI is to make it fit with humanity. We're trying to make it think like us to make our lives easier. I'm fully okay with empowering other people to do my job. Don't be an empire builder. People will catch you out right away. Does anyone heard the term empire builder before? Has anyone heard that term before? An empire builder, you see a lot of them in tech. So does anyone know like a sassy IT guy, like head of IT that has his own group, his or her own group of people. You don't really know what's going on there. They think that they're the smartest people in the world and nobody knows anything else. And they're almost holding the company hostage with what they know. And it could be bad. It could be stuff they're not even ahead of time, or they're not even like in the present or in the future. It's like what happens with empire builders is you're trying to protect and you're trying to recruit people around you to protect you in your job. Don't do that. Be flexible. Worry about outcome over input, okay? Or output, income and output. Worry about output over input. Worry about being as helpful as possible and always having the answer, right? Definitely no empire builders, right? The assistants can also be empire builders, and they try and do this. HR, try and do this. Finance. Does anyone know finance teams that have held their company ransom by not sharing details, and then they're afraid to, if they're not great, they're afraid to let them go because they've got all the answers, and how are they going to untangle this mess, right? So don't become an empire builder. That they're long going, okay? What you want to become is a flexible problem solver. A lot of us is like office managers are going to become experience managers. People still do want to come to the office. We are a communicative. That just sounds like a disease. We are we are social beings. And these robots, these AI, these computers are going to help us enjoy the best parts of life, right? Luxury is going to be a really big thing. Like jobs that are going to go up and up and up that don't really have too much to do with technology, but will if you can make it automate a lot more things. Healthcare, childcare, cleaning services, all of this, because people want more and more luxury because that's what AI affords us. So one, it's not as intelligent as you think. It will get there, but it's that we're trying to get it to work with humans. All the tasks you don't want, like a cashier, has anyone been watching Upload on Amazon? Oh my God. If you guys have Amazon Prime, go watch Upload. It's so cool. And then message me or like Instagram, like screenshot it and tag Join the Officials and tell me you're watching it. Oh my God, I watched through it all, right? But it's really, really cool about like what is possible. And the best part about it is that it doesn't seem that far in the future, right? So like someone's on a bike, a Lyft bike, like Lyft, the car service. They're on a bike and they drive home. And when they hop off the bike, it sets itself up right and just drives off to where it needs to be, right? We don't want to return that bike. We don't have to worry about that. Like that's the cool stuff. But those little things that really help you. Oh my God, guys, watch Upload and tell me about it. It's so good. It's so good. They're going to do another season. Anyway, but this cool technology is coming, and I want you to think of it as your friend and not your foe. It's not your replacement. It's meant to work with you. And the people that are going to get ahead are the ones that know that. And what it's doing is becoming more and more intuitive. If anyone's ever used or kind of gotten a handle on an iPhone or an Android, you realize that it's trying to help you. It's like the fact that Siri, Google, Alexa, all of them can send you reminders and say, hey, you have this appointment coming up. It's trying to help you do your job. So I'm going to tell you just a couple of ways that you can get familiar with tech now. But does that make sense to everybody? Does that help you understand a little bit why tech is not going to replace you? The human side of you is the important part. But know that it's meant to help all of us. And we are not, our job. So if you're worried about tech, what you're saying is, I'm a word junkie. That's all I'm for. I'm a word specialist. I'm really great at word and mail merges, and that's about it. But you are so much more, and you know it. You don't need to be beholden to this technology. You are clever, clever people. You can cross this bridge. Okay. I want this to put your mind at rest. I know you're like, okay, yeah, Lauren, it's easier said than done, but I really do want you to know that the purpose of all of this is to make our lives easier. It's not to make things more complicated. Actually, has anyone given an iPad or a phone to a 3-year-old and seen them start to swipe? Has anyone seen this without teaching them anything? I remember putting like a paint app for my 3-year-old niece like 10 years ago. God, it was so long ago, like 8 years ago. And she started to swipe through her, and she was able to save her pictures, like save them to photos. She'd never played with an iPad before. It's because it's so intuitive. We actually have to break what we expect how we expect technology to interact, because we've had things that are so feature rich, like Word. If you go from Word to Google Docs, you realize it's really streamlined. It's really dumbed down almost, but in a way that's more intuitive. It's concentrating on just the bits, like we talked in the beginning, just the bits we usually use it for. If you're going to be a power user and you're going to be a specialist in something, that's fine. That's still needed. If you need to drill down into the deepest, darkest pits of Word or Excel or whatever, that's fine. But also embrace the new technologies. Yeah, this is the thing. Saw a child trying to touch screen at work, but it wasn't a touch screen. Does anybody do that sometimes? Anyone used to go on their phone and then they go like this on their screen, and they're like, oh no, my screen's not a touchpad. Happens to me all the time. But I just want, today we're really just talking about easing your mind, changing your mindset about technology. And I actually think, I've talked to Lisa, I think we're going to open this up and put this on YouTube to tell people, hey, come into our tech series. It's not that hard. Some of them I give you a lot of information. I've been trying to slow that down a little bit. So it's good that they're recorded. You can slow it down and watch it and try things. But I think I want this to be something that everybody sees, because you are your superpower, and we're trying to make this technology give you a better, easier life and do more stuff that you want. If you just want to be a typist, fantastic. The government still needs some typists. But if you want to be seen as a respected member of your team that somebody goes to for everything, you just have to get over this fear. That's it. It's not really there. Know that bridge is there and it's waiting for you. In fact, it's a conveyor belt. If you get on it, it's going to move you along. Like once you get on it, you're going to get there. Okay. And it starts with these baby steps. So let's talk about, how do you get familiar with tech? Does anyone know Michelle Bowditch of Door 20A? Let me put her name in here. She's so sweet. I love her so much. Okay. So she's at Door 20A, I think, on Instagram, but you can find her. She is so lovely. She's so clever. And what she does is these tech audits, and she can do them remotely with you, I think. So if you ever want to reach out to her, but what she does is kind of sits down and looks at all the tech you're using, and you start going through the settings together and properly seeing what is available. Has anyone really looked at the settings of any new tech? Have you looked at the settings of Teams? Have you looked at all the add-ons like Azure boards in Teams? Have you really gotten deep? Not even deep, just a little deep. We're just talking settings and just seeing what all the different things you can tick. Most of you probably haven't, right? You've probably just been surviving. You're probably like, oh, we got Teams now? Okay. And then you're just learning as you go. But I can tell you, the other day I was in a Teams meeting doing some training for a university, for a very big company. Actually, it was somebody else, but it was one of the top 3 companies in this industry. It's a household name. And so many of the assistants didn't know how to raise their hand in Teams, which is the same in Zoom, or they didn't know that there was a chat. And this was months into coronavirus lockdown. And it's because you're not, how do you know? If you've never had to use it and you've never seen anybody else use it in a meeting, you just don't know what's there. So I want you guys to kind of just sit down for a minute and really familiarize yourself with the tech that you're currently using. And I guarantee, and I'd love you to tag me on Instagram, on LinkedIn, or email me and be like, Lauren, I found something new today that I didn't know because all I did was just look at my settings. Okay. I would really love that, because that's one place, definitely in mind shift I need there. So we've all been on survival mode, but just because that person didn't know how to raise their hand didn't mean I thought any less than them. It didn't mean when they couldn't find the chat and I was like, hey, say hi in the chat, because you guys know that's what I do, because it helps me see, it helps me have a conversation, right? So I can get feedback from you guys. If I hadn't asked that, because she was an assistant, she was there to take notes, she wasn't told that this kind of stuff was happening. So how would she ever know? Why would anyone judge a person on that? You don't know what you don't know, which is always my biggest fear. So I want you to go in there, and if you just went into settings, she might see there's a chat and be like, why are there chat settings in here? And then create your own team, or your own team view, create your own Google Meet, create your own Zoom, and just play around with it. Record yourself. Do you know how many trainings you could give to other people just by recording yourself with Zoom? And just empower other people to do it, and they'll be like, oh my God, Lauren, or whoever, I'm saying myself, but whoever, it's like, look at them. Not only do they have this down, but they're teaching other people. And actually teaching is a really great way to be better at something yourself. It actually used to be a really used technique in France. That's how it was part of, before education reform came in. Students were in charge of teaching other students because it was a really powerful teaching tool. And we should get back to that, which is why we have officials teaching courses over here. I need to play with tech to try out stuff, although posting an over large picture of someone in Teams chat was a bit tactless of me. Oh no. You know what? But this is the thing. We learn from our mistakes. It's all an experiment, guys. It's all an experiment, but you have to show a willingness. When you are teaching and learning at the same time, great tips. LinkedIn, Michelle Bowditch, yes, please follow her. So one, I want you to play with the settings. Start there with the tech that you have now, okay? That's not a big ask. I'm trying to give you guys little baby steps. Like I said, it's gonna get you on that people mover bridge to the other side, and you'll start to be like, oh, that's not that hard. Like I said, it's more important to know what is possible. It's important to know what technology can do what, because have you ever thought, oh God, I just wish there was an app for that. Or I just wish there was, like, I remember just wishing that I could, whenever we ran out of toilet paper in the office, that I could just order something, pick up the phone and ask someone to deliver it within the hour. I remember thinking that. Now we all have Amazon Now, right? In most cities we have Amazon Now, or at least can get it next day, or you've got what are all the shopping apps? So you've got tons of apps where someone will go and run to the supermarket and buy these things for you. Like, even if it's not like them getting a whole order for you, but you've got these shopmates and things like that can go and run and make your life more convenient. This is a dream to an assistant. This is the stuff that was a waste of our time. We are better and more than this. So this is a way in that you can order some toilet paper on an app on your phone. That is a way of using technology to get ahead. You don't have to use it. You don't have to be a deep learner, a deep user. You just have to know what's possible. So one example of this is did anyone catch my automation session the other day about when I used Google Forms for onboarding? Did anyone see that? So that Microsoft Forms exist. Does anyone here use Microsoft? Didn't know there was something called Microsoft Forms? Don't be shy. It's okay. I know a lot of people that I told them about this and they didn't know. Okay, so there's something called Microsoft Forms. Go look it up. If you use Google Forms. So Google Forms is what I had done, is set up go back and look at this, but I just want to show you an example. I made a form that literally just said, after a person's accepted their letter, oh, prefer them over SurveyMonkey all day. I don't like Typeform, and Typeform got hacked anyway. I don't really like SurveyMonkey. I like Google Form. I like Google Forms personally. I think the automation part of it is a little bit more intuitive, which is what's happening. Microsoft is now trying to reverse engineer what they've done and make it more intuitive. So actually, you guys are kind of ahead. Like, we're trying to dumb down technology. That's like where it's going. If you are a good power MS user, you can figure all this out. Okay. And so in this, I created a form where it's just for the manager to fill out, say, this person's starting on this date, here's their name, this is the email address I would like for them. And we say like, here's the example email address. What other mailing list? Don't you hate when they aren't on the distribution list? Like they're not on marketing they're not on this, and you got to go back and ask IT to do all this stuff. So I say like, or should we copy someone? Did we hire someone 2 weeks ago and they should just like have all the same rights as them? Easy. Here's a list of all the technology that we have. What laptop do they need? Or who else has the same setup that you need them to have? All these questions, and it automatically fills in a spreadsheet, guys. This is why it's so awesome. It fills a spreadsheet. Then I can set up a notification that anytime that spreadsheet changes, I get a notification. Somebody's filled this out. I get an email saying, so this form has changed. But also what it does is like column 1 is first name, column 2 is last name, column 3 is their job title. For each one of my questions, there's a column. But then I can add sneaky little columns. And like I could do 3 columns that say like order swag, assign desk, send welcome email, and highlight those all blue. And those are my to-do list checklist. And then I've got 3 more columns after that I make orange. And they say it's like IT, set up online account, set up the printer, order their equipment. And then IT has to go in for each person and put what date they did it or where the progress they are at, where they are. And so I can constantly be tracking, has all of this stuff been done? HR has their own sections. And even as you update the form, it just moves those over. It doesn't mess with the columns you've added yourself. And once you see that, it's a very simple, easy thing. I didn't go deep into tech. I just thought what was possible. I saw these spreadsheets. No one taught me how to do this. I saw these forms. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then it creates these columns. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if I can add my own column for notes. And then I was like, oh God, I have to change the form. Is it going to freak out? I was like, may as well try it. It's all an experiment. So I changed the form, and all it did was move my column over. I was like, okay, Google. And then I was like, can I get notified when this comes out? And so I just Googled it, because I think it's got to be, anything is possible. This is what I want you to tell you. If you think it's possible or you'd like it to happen, just Google it. It exists. And then learn that tech or learn that thing or learn that little step. But I just want you to constantly be questioning and saying to myself, because I think we think, oh, wouldn't that be a nice thing? Or why doesn't it do this thing? It does. My answer to you is it does the thing you want it to do. You just got to figure out how. And if it doesn't, then there's a technology that does, and there's a workaround. And that's why I'm the rebel assistant who always asks for forgiveness instead of permission. And I just download things. I don't care about, I love IT, but they should be empowering us to do our jobs. And so if they fight me on it, I'm always like, sorry guys, if you can tell me how to do this in the technology you provided me, that's great. Otherwise, if you want to talk to the CEO who's got my back, we'll talk. So I want you to first look at those settings and then think, anytime, is something possible? That was just by me doing trial and error. And there's tons of Google videos on this I didn't even know. And I'm actually teaching it to other people because I'm an assistant. This is how I've learned it, and it blew people's minds. And all I did was create a Google form and filled in some columns and clicked, and it gave me notifications. And then I go the extra step, because I don't trust IT and I don't trust HR, that they've also gone into that spreadsheet and put in that notification. So I go into my email and say, when I get this email that notifies me, I want it to forward to these 2 other people, because sometimes we just gotta have to take action into our own hands, right? But that's another stage of technology. That's all I'm asking you. That's all I'm asking you to do at this point. You don't need to know. I don't even want to talk to you about going deep diving into Asana and how do you create dependent sub tasks that then as one task moves, they move with it. I'm not asking you to do that today. I'm just asking you to look at settings and play around with a few things. Go on YouTube, come to this series and learn about different things. And like, is anyone here always afraid of PowerPoint and like see job skills that say like, you must know PowerPoint and make it look beautiful? No point now that Canva exists. No point now that you can go on Flat Icon, or what's Flat Icon connected to? Pix, something, I can't remember. I can't remember what they're called. But there's like all these free places where you can get these beautiful clip art, this beautiful images. And we use them all the time. And as long as you give reference, like I put a slide at the end that says these images came from here and you link to them, they're yours for free. Agencies still test on PowerPoint, and that's totally fine. But I would have no problem. If they're going to be stuck on PowerPoint, that's fine. And again, all you have to do is learn the basics. But like, we want to get away from automation or this animation now. We just want a simple slide. And if you look at Apple, the way they do all their slides are like me. They don't fill it with words. There's hardly any words. It's mostly pictures. They want people to pay attention. That's where beautiful PowerPoints are going. So whatever they're going to test you on, we need to have them talk to me. If you find someone doing this, be like, I think you should talk to Lauren Bradley, right? Pictures are great for mind mapping. There's so many tools. Guys, I'm going to read you right now. I'm going to read you out all the technology that I have on my tech to test. I have a little folder in my bookmarks. These are all the tech. This is all the tech I have to test at the moment. I want to dive deeper into Airtable, Smartsheet, Wave, 2Vs, ClickUp, Whimsical, which is great for mind mapping, by the way. Whoever was just talking about mind mapping, there's one called Whimsical. Flowdesk, Milkshake, TubeBuddy, Teamwork, StreamYard, Loom, Tailwind, Easel, PicMonkey, Sparks. Sparks is a new one that I'm testing. I'm actually in a few test modes right now. There's one called Oh my goodness. Guys, get on this. There's one called And there's another one I like called Jam App, which is a way to talk and collaborate together where you're little talking bubbleheads. There's also, if you guys are using Teams or Slack, there's a great one called Discord where you can actually have videos to each other. Oh my God, is so cool. I can't wait. I'm going to test one for you guys and do one, but it's a great way to like, you guys can choose how you want it to see. You want to see me talking like kind of like a news anchor, you know, they have the little box in the corner where they're talking about the story of the day. So you can either choose, can you forward a list of all the apps? Here, I can't screenshot it. Hold on. Let me type it real quick. Okay, so let me just tell you, let me do one more thing while I'm typing that. Let me just tell you. The next step here, I want you guys to do is keyboard shortcuts. Does anyone here, have you heard about keyboard shortcuts? And you're like, it's too hard for me to figure out. If you're touching your mouse, you have a problem. Software engineers are like, that's really what we should be looking at. We should really be looking at how they do things. They use Trello and Kanban boards and Scrum boards. So like if you're in Microsoft Azure, keyboard shortcuts, literally just look up keyboard shortcuts for Teams. And you just need to know, they'll give you 5 pages of them. You just need to know 4, probably. So when you're flipping back and forth between things, does anyone know you can do, I'm on a Mac, it's Command Tab. What is it to switch through apps? A lot of people still don't know that you don't actually have to use your mouse to go back and forth between your apps. You just hit, is it Control, Command, Alt Tab? There you go. And then you can just switch through. I remember I was 18, which was over 20 years ago, when I saw somebody do that for the first time. And I was like, what did you do? Like, that's how I constantly feel when I see technology. I always want to know, I'm thirsty for it. I want to know these little things because they save me time. Yeah, it's Command Tab on an app. So you hold down Command and you keep hitting Tab and it'll keep going through. Does anyone here, is that new information to you? I still find people that's new information to, okay? And if you're on a PC, it's Alt Tab or Control Tab or something. You'll figure it out, but it will change your life. If this is new, it will change your life to you. Okay, so I want you to go and look up, type into Google, keyboard shortcuts for Teams, keyboard shortcuts for Outlook, keyboard shortcuts for anything. Now, one of the things I wanted to show you guys a little bit was about shortcuts in iPhone, but to be honest, I haven't found a good one. I thought that would be cool to show you, but I'm not really feeling shortcuts in iPhone. But look up keyboard shortcuts because there's also there's something called, I forget the name of the app. I'll have to find it, but it's called Command Launch Pro or something. Or Launch Center Pro, I can't remember, but it basically was what is now shortcuts, but it was basically keyboard shortcuts for your phone to be able to pull something up instantly, the same routines that you use over and over again. Every morning for my Google app, I say, good morning, Google. It's going to say it. It's going to hear me. No, it didn't hear me. But what it does is it says, good morning, Lauren. It turns all the lights on in my house because I have bought those bulbs and it came with a thing and I just hooked it up to it was not hard. And so I've set this routine to say, when I say good morning, play my favorite playlist, tell me the weather, tell me my appointments, and turn the lights on. And when I say good night, it turns the lights on upstairs, turns them off down here. It's just a way that I can't tell you how simple that was to set up, but it makes my life easier. And when we're gone, the lights turn on. You don't need the timers anymore that you plug into the wall. The lights turn themselves on and off at the appropriate times. In fact, all of our lights turn, like I think there's like 16,000 different colors they can turn. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but it's really cool. It's fun stuff. I want you to think of technology as fun. Okay, I just want to make sure I tell you one more. And then use your phone more. Does anyone ever get stopped on the way to like the bathroom or just the kitchen and someone's like, hey, can you just do this one thing? And by the time you get back to your desk, you don't remember? Am I the only one that's guilty? We got too much in our minds, right? All the time. I always have my phone. Always have my phone. I feel lost without it. And I just say to Siri, remind me,
yes.
remind me in 10 minutes to call Joseph.
Done.
And then 10 minutes later, I'm going to get a notification on my phone. Does anyone use their phone for that? I use mine for that constantly. In fact, when people hear me doing it, they think I'm tech savvy. I can't tell you how many people in my office are like, you can do that? Or do it with Alexa, or do it with Google, or whatever you have. You can do that and make this your bish. This is your assistant. This can do so much for you. Or I'll use my the thing about schedule everything last week is because I want my calendar to tell me what I'm supposed to do. And then Google tells me. Then my little Google over here in the corner in my kitchen tells me what I have to do today. I just have to put it in my calendar. I have to actually use my own calendar the way I expect my executives to. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. I need to give myself my own medicine. So it's just these little things. I just wanted to have this little talk with you. Let me go through here now and and give you some of the names of these tech, like I promised. Guys, ask me questions now. Whimsical, Airtable. What else do we have on here? Does this make sense? Does it make you feel like you should just, well, the thing is, what I want you to do, think about this is kind of like imposter. This is tech imposter syndrome. And the only way to go through it is through it. You got to bash through that wall that's actually not there. You got to cross that bridge. Does anyone remember Indiana Jones when he has to cross the invisible bridge that's actually there, but because of like an optical illusion, you can't see it? Am I too old? Does anyone remember that scene? Right? Okay, it's there. You have to take the first step. We're all waiting for you on the other side going, come on, come on, come on. Okay, so if you haven't seen that scene, it's fantastic. What was it? Raiders of the Lost Ark? Is it Lost Ark? Is it that one? Anyway, it's a really cool scene because it's a really cool optical illusion. And that's really what this tech is. And I want you to think about. All right, let me give you a few more of these tech. Sorry, it's not keeping my list up. StreamYard is great. So if you know these things, like right now I taught the thing about Pinterest, and I know an assistant that's talked to their small startup team, and now they're doing pins to see if it brings them more traffic. And hopefully it's working. But they were able to show value. All we want you to do is be able to take what you learn and show value. Okay, let me just see a couple other ones that might be useful for you guys. Whimsical, click up and wave, click up, wave. I told you about Jam. I told you about There was another app that I really think is cool. Let's see. You know what? I'd love, message me guys. I want you to go into your phone and show me how many apps. You can go into your settings and actually see how many apps that you have. I want to see what you guys got out there. I'd like to know. Okay, there's one I really like called Sparks, which is supposed to be this awesome productivity one that's coming out. I'm testing it. I told you about Discord. Did you guys know there's an app called Love Nudge? Does anyone know about Love Nudge? Love Nudge is a way that technology helps you with your relationships. So does anyone know the 5 love languages? So if you've ever heard about the 5 love languages, it's like you do a test and it tells you like, usually we speak in the language we want to be spoken to. Like I'm acts of service. Like most assistants I imagine would be quite high up on the acts of service. Like we show love by doing things for others, like unloading the dishwasher, by making them a special meal, right? But we want others to speak to us that way. But I'm married to someone who's words of affirmation. So he tells me how beautiful and smart I am all the time. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't need you to tell me that. Do the dishes. Like that's what I want. But I keep showing him acts of service, and all he wants me to do is tell him how handsome and clever he is, which he is. But Love Nudge is an app where you both fill it out. And then it gives you can set up nudges. And it reminds me every now and then to just say, you know, give him a compliment every now and then, or remember to go on a date or things like that. It's called Love Nudge. And it's a way that technology, right? See, but it's a way that technology, just a really simple little thing, is helping my life. I love that kind of stuff. Okay. I want you guys to get excited about that kind of stuff. I don't have much storage on my phone. We need to get, Claudia, we need to get that sorted for you. You need to go deep on, if you're an assistant, you got to have storage on your phone. You know how many photos I have on this phone, and I just cleared them all out. Oh, dear Lord, guys. All right. I'm going to let you guys go because this is going to wrap this up. I got 1,200. I swear to God, a month ago, I cleared it out. What was the Speech Bubble Heads app? Speech Bubble Heads app. I'm on my 9th page of apps. I send all the photos and videos to OneDrive. I send all my photos to Google Photos. Are you concerned about giving apps that have too much info? Okay, this is a really great question. I would warn you about putting pictures of your children online. We're too late. We've got pictures of us all over the place, right? But there is technology that can read our faces. If you use Google Photo, it knows pictures of me. It can recognize the progression of my face, and it can recognize the progression of my children's faces. So it says, are these people the same people? And I can't believe it's picked a baby photo of my daughter and who's now 3. And it can tell it's the same person. Now, the reason why I want to warn you about that is because we don't know where big data is going to go. We don't know what decisions, like they're going to see these patterns we don't even know about, okay? It's going to see these patterns in like someone that has this shape of ear has a lower life expectancy or more likely to have this, so make their insurance higher. Does anyone know about that? Does anyone know does anyone thought about that? We don't know the implications of big data yet and what kind of decisions are going to be made on big data. However, I'm someone who is an optimist, right? Obviously I don't mind putting my face out there. I'm on YouTube, I'm on anywhere. I want to embrace the technology. I also don't think I'm that special. I don't think that the government really I don't care that Google reads my emails or whatever to give me the best ads. I choose to believe that, like when we saw things like Cambridge Analytica, that it was stopped. I choose to believe that humans will protect humans. And that's what I'm betting on. I'll bet on that all day long. Okay. So I do want you to be careful, or at least you should know these things. You should know these things when you're thinking about putting your information on it. I have a friend who has a completely different online persona. She has a different email address with a different name that she doesn't want. Like, so when she signs up for things, she's like known as somebody else, like Regina Phalange from Friends, right? What's the other guy? What's Joey's name? Regina Phalange and I can't remember what Joey's name was. But think about this when you're signing up for things and who you're giving your information to. However, like I said, to be honest, if you're using any tech, they got your stuff, but also you're not that important. No offense to anybody. I'm not that important. I would be worried about this if I was going to run for politics. I don't know what Triboni. What's Triboni? Oh, Triboni. No, it was like Tom something. Ken Adams. It was Ken Adams and Regina Phalange. So you can have an online persona. Also, avatars are going to be present. So like with contact lenses and glasses, like we're going to be able to see in the real world avatars. Like you could have an avatar for your house. Like you could live in a like a block, cinder block, cement block house, but pay for you will pay money for virtual architecture where someone walks by with their Oculus glasses on or their contact lenses on and they see the Taj Mahal when they walk by your house. Or they see me and they walk by and they see Angelina Jolie and I see a big cat when I see them or something. This is what's coming, guys. So we can also protect ourselves. People might never know what we look like. I can't tell you how many online friends I have now since coronavirus hit that I absolutely adore. And I'm so glad because do you know the internet helped me find my husband? I met him on MySpace. I didn't have a passport living in Pittsburgh. He's from Kent in England. And now I'm married. So I choose to believe in the good as opposed to the bad, but you should know about, be prepared for bad. Does that make sense? Like make sure that you know what's out there, but I always bet on humans, always. Not important enough. Alexa only hears me talking to my cat and nagging the husband. Right? Yeah, like I don't think Alexa needs to, like, I don't think Google really cares how many times I've snuck to the cabinet and eaten Nutella, right? But I do want, who wants the fridge that tells you what's in there and makes your shopping list for you? Like that, I'm so ready for technology to just take over my shopping list. Anyone else? And to order it. This is technology that's actually happening now. This isn't new. This is happening now. There are fridges that can scan your food, hook up to Ocado, and order your weekly shop. Now, who's ready for that? I am. Someone to cook it. Yeah. Well, but then you can have services. If you can just go into your app inside and even then you can choose whether it's a robot that does it or that it just assigns. That's what HelloFresh is. HelloFresh is essentially an app that brings you food, right? Okay. So I hope you guys, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to see if there's anything I missed. Technology is intuitive. There's always an app for that. Remember that. Just think. Lauren said there's always an app for that. Okay. Everyone say it with me. Type it in. There's always an app for that. If I think that it should exist, it does. Okay. That's what I want you to take away from here. I want you to play around with a couple of things like G Suite. Everyone can have a free Gmail address right now. Slack, Instagram, Post-it app. Post-it app is awesome. LinkedIn. Is anyone here not on LinkedIn? If you're not on LinkedIn, email me. We have to have words. We are going towards LinkedIn. If you want people to be able to find you, you need to have a LinkedIn profile. You need to be optimizing it correctly. You need to have all the keywords in there. Like if you just have like your last job and there's no descriptions, you just have job titles, that's no. 1Password. Does anyone use anything to control all your passwords? 1Password is my favorite. Some people use LastPass. I think they had a security thing. But I think it's okay. I'd still use LastPass if I'm in it. But I really like 1Password. In fact, previous principals, I still have access to their 1Password because they don't really understand how to use it. And so whenever they get a new phone and they don't know how to add it, I was like, just let me know. I'm ready to delete it. I'll come to your house. You can see me delete it and you can change. I'll show you how to change the password, not show it to me. But they don't. I'm their security blanket. They still are in touch with me and I still am needed because I know how to use that technology. And Otter. Does everyone know Otter? That's my last one I want you guys to play around with. And when in doubt, Google it. So there's always an app for that. If I think it should exist, it does. And when all else fails, Google it or come back to this Tech Hack series and tell me and we'll cover it. We'll go over it together. And you can see, because I'm an assistant, I know how you guys need this stuff. That's what I love. Going online and going to YouTube, you get how it works, but it's hard to have the application where I can do the application. Okay, I want you guys to come back to me. I want you guys to tell me what you think. Has this been helpful? Was this okay? You guys really stuck in there it's just me talking to you guys. I didn't really show you much today, just kind of getting your mind right. There's 58 people in here. This is the biggest one we've had yet. Totally, thank you. I love it. Thanks, Lauren. Thank you. Don't be scared. And if you're scared, message me. I'm here. If you're in the officials, you can DM me at any time. That if you're having an issue, people ask me all the time. People in our industry ask me all the time how to do stuff because I know WordPress, I know plugins, because I believe in myself that I can figure it out. And I'm telling you guys, it's so much easier than you think. I used to teach Photoshop and Illustrator and InDesign at college level. I mean, it's no wonder this is what I do. I'm an instructor for life, right? But I can tell you, when you have Canva, you don't need I went to college. I have a master's degree in that stuff. And then Canva comes out. I'm happy. I'm happily able to let that go for Canva. Hi, Mary. Hi. Mary, I want to meet you someday. Going to schedule time in my calendar to test these out. Very sad. I missed signing up to the officials. That's okay. We're back in October. And I'll tell you a secret. We may have a backdoor event next month. So get on the waiting list and you'll know about, sign up to whatever webinars or freebies come out. We might give you like 48 hours or something. But it just depends on if we're ready because we're doing a lot of planning. This allows us to plan for the next 6 to 8 months and concentrate on who's in there now. That's why we did it. Not because we don't want everyone. In fact, I'm all about inclusion, but we put the wait list up because we want to be able to serve better the people that are in there. And when you do join, be able to serve you better. Sorry, I feel like have I been shaking my table? Why didn't you guys tell me? My screen keeps shaking. All right, sorry. Anyway, love you guys. Any other questions, please let me know. I think we're going to put this on YouTube instead of keeping it hidden. So please share it if you know anyone that needs a pep talk, confidence pep talk, or tech pep talk. Come here, say hi real quick.
Oh, I'm so
Amazing.
hot.
We'll keep an eye out for the back door. My daughter's just come back from, say bye, everybody.
Bye,
oh my
bye.
goodness, your little cheeks.
I know. I told you
It's
I'm
hot out there.
hot.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.